Part 1. The Move to House 127. My name is Reza, and I never believed in jinn. Not really. Not until the year 2013, when I moved into house number 127 in Kouhsar, Tehran. It was supposed to be temporary, just a few months while my real apartment was under renovation. The owner told me the house was old, but solid, quiet, safe. He didn't mention what happened before I moved in. He didn't mention why the previous tenants left all their furniture behind, or why the rent was unbelievably cheap. And I, like an idiot, thought I found a bargain. The first week was normal, peaceful. Cold winter nights, quiet streets, the smell of pine trees drifting from the hills. But the house had a strange feeling to it. As if someone had just been there. As if someone had just left the room every time I entered. I ignored it. Everyone ignores the first signs. Part 2. The footsteps on the roof. The first real incident happened on the 6th night. I was lying on my mattress in the living room, half asleep, when I heard it. Footsteps. Slow, dragging footsteps, walking across the roof. I sat up immediately. It was winter. No cats, no workers, no kids. The footsteps stopped when I stood. Then, 3 slow steps, right above the living room. I grabbed a broom and went outside. Nothing. The roof was empty, just frost on the edges of the tiles. I convinced myself it was just thermal cracking. Old roofs sometimes make noise. But that explanation died the next night. At exactly 3:04 a.m., I heard footsteps again. This time, faster, like something pacing, back and forth, as if it were angry or waiting. I couldn't sleep after that. Part 3. The doorbell at 3 a.m. On the 8th night, I was eating late dinner when the doorbell rang. I checked the clock. 3:07 a.m. I froze. Who rings a bell at that hour in an empty neighborhood? When I answered, "Hello, who's there?" Nothing. Only silence and the sound of wind pushing dry leaves across the tiles. I checked outside. No one. The doorbell rang again. Twice. But this time, there was breathing on the other end. Slow, deep, close enough that I could hear moisture in the breath. I slammed the receiver down. My hands were shaking. I didn't sleep that night either. Part 4. The lights in the yard. The house had a small yard with 2 broken garden lamps. They didn't work. I checked the cables myself, completely dead. But at 3 a.m. on the 10th night, they turned on. Not a normal turn on. They flickered violently, like someone was walking in front of them, blocking the light. I looked outside. No wind, no movement, no shadows. Yet the lights kept flickering, reacting to something I couldn't see. I whispered to myself, "This is electricity. Just electricity, nothing else." But I didn't believe it. Part 5. The storage room door. Behind the kitchen was a small storage room. The door was always locked. The owner told me, "Don't worry about that room. The key is in this safe." The safe was bolted shut. I never touched it. But every night, exactly 3 a.m., I heard the storage door creak open. Once, twice, then close again. Slow, deliberate. It made my blood freeze. No key, no wind, no explanation. Just the sound of a door opening for someone who wasn't me. Part 6. What the camera captured. After 2 weeks, I set up a CCTV camera in the hallway, pointed at the storage room door. I didn't expect anything, but when I checked the footage the next morning, I felt my stomach drop. At 3:42 a.m., the hallway lights flickered. Then, a shadow slid across the floor, not cast by anything, not connected to a body. A tall, thin shadow. It drifted toward the storage door, stopped, and leaned. The door unlocked by itself, and something tall with long arms slid inside. The storage door closed behind it. But the part that made me drop the phone, the shadow didn't cast light, it absorbed it, like a living whole. That night, I didn't even try to sleep. Part 7. Leaving the house. The next morning, I packed my things and left house 127. I didn't care about the rent, didn't care about the deposit. I just left. I moved into a small apartment in Tehran, 4th floor, far from trees, hills, and old houses. I thought it was over, but the truth was just beginning. Part 8. What followed me. 2 weeks after I moved, strange things started happening again. My carpets slid toward the front door as if being pulled by invisible hands. The television turned on by itself, not to a channel, but to static. White noise. Crackling. Hissing. Then the kitchen lights began flickering, reacting to a presence I couldn't see. I told myself it was stress, trauma, electric issues, until one night I heard scratching on my closet door. Long, slow, deliberate scratches. 3 lines, deep, exactly like the ones I saw on the storage room door in house 127. My blood ran cold. Something from that house had followed me. Not a ghost, not a spirit, a jinn. A jinn that had lived in that house long before I did. One that didn't like being filmed. One that didn't want to be seen. The next day, I visited an old man in Kouhsar, one of the oldest residents. I asked him, "What was in house 127? His face went pale. He whispered, "That house was a crossing point. They passed through it. You looked at them with your camera, and looking is an invitation." Part 9. The final night. The last night I ever spoke of this happened 3 months later. I was lying in bed, lights off, almost asleep, when the TV turned to static, the carpets slid, and the closet door creaked open. I didn't move, couldn't move. Something stepped out, slow, heavy, wet sounding. I felt it standing at the foot of my bed, watching. Then it whispered in a voice deep, layered, and ancient, "Don't look again." The closet door slammed shut so hard the walls shook. I moved out the next morning, and I've never lived alone again.